Harvest time, harvest time. It's harvest time, harvest time. It's harvest time again. Time to pick up the yellow corn and cut down all the grain. Harvest time, harvest time. Time to pick all the fruit to dig up the carrots and pull up and the fruits. Harvest time, harvest time. Harvest time again. Time to dig up the carrots and cut up the grain. Time to pick the fruits and dig up the roots. Harvest time. It's harvest time again. Time to pick the carrots and wear welly boots in the rain. Harvest time, harvest time. Time to dig up the hard potatoes, to pick the juicy apples, and if our feet get sore, we'll carry on. Harvest time, harvest time. In the autumn, we'll work all together in the warm sunshine.
Harvest time, harvest time, harvest time. It's harvest time again. Time to cut the yellow wavy corn and dig up the crunchy carrots. Harvest time, harvest time. Time to take the apples away and put them in the shop today. Harvest time, in the autumn sun. We'll have a good time until the harvest is done.
Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to cut the red apples and gather in the grain. Harvest time, time to collect the sweet, fruity strawberries, sweet, munchy red, juicy apples, and wear raincoats. Harvest time, in the autumn, we'll cut the yellow, wavy corn until the harvest is done.
Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to dig up the crunchy carrots and pull the roots out in the rain. Harvest time, it's time to pick the fruits, to take them to the market and dig up all the roots.
Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to cut the corn and collect the acorns. Harvest time. Time to pick the lettuces, to gather the blackberries, and dig. Harvest time in the autumn. Then it's nice until it's gone. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to collect the juicy apples and wear our coats in the rain. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to dig the ground and not make a sound. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to have a red strawberry dream and eat it clean. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to pick up the roots and cut down the grain. Harvest time, time to gather in the wheat and the red sweet berries. Harvest time in the autumn. We will pick strawberries to eat with thick cream. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to pick the yellow corn and cut all the roots and hide the carrots in the garden. Harvest time again. It's harvest time. Then time to pick the blackberries and pick up the pumpkins. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to pick the corn and get in the red radishes. It's harvest time, time to get my boots and to get my coat and scarf and gloves. Harvest time, it's harvest time today. Time to do your job and then do it all again. Harvest time, time to gather in the fruit, to pick the nuts and wear your wally boots. Harvest time, on the farmer's land, we'll pick, dig and cut until it's done by hand. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to cut the corn and gather in the grain. Harvest time, time to pick the fruit. Dig and dig up the root. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to cut the red radishes and gather in the grain. Harvest time, time to pick the fruit, to dig and gather and dig up the roots. Harvest time by John Foster. Harvest time, it's harvest time again. Time to cut the corn and gather in the grain. Harvest time, time to pick the fruits, to gather in the nuts and dig up all the roots. Harvest time, in the autumn sun, we'll cut, pick and dig until the harvest's done.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
harvest time.
Once upon a time there lived a little old woman and a little old man.
One day, the little old man wanted some turnip seeds. One of his turnips grew and grew and grew until it was enormous. Little old man pulled and pulled and pulled, but the turnip would not budge. The little old man shouted to his wife for help. Together they pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. The little old woman and the old man shouted to a boy who was playing in the fields. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, and the boy shouted to a girl to help them. They pulled and pulled and pulled, but the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, the boy and the girl shouted to the little old man's son to help them. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge. So the little old man, the little old woman, the boy, the girl and the dog called the little old woman's cat to help. Together they pulled and pulled, but still the turnip would not budge.
So the little old man, the little old woman, and the boy, the girl, the dog, and the cat called the farmhouse mouse to help. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, and suddenly out pops the enormous turnip.
The little old man was very pleased. He invited everyone round for a turnip dinner. Our harvest fair. Dear God, thank you for all of the different wonderful food that you grow and let us eat so that we stay healthy. Please help to make sure everyone gets enough to eat throughout the world. Helps us to stay safe and look after each other. Okay, I don't know. Each other. Are going to make an Alison harvest soup using 2A sentences. In it, we are going to put one smooth, soft pumpkin, some red tangy tomatoes, some crunchy crisp carrots,
Some oodles of brown delicious onions.
Some long leafy celery. What a wrinkly sprout. What? Some long warm hugs and kisses. And I wish that everyone has enough to eat throughout the world. Happy Harvest!